Do you have a rabbit in my courtroom? What is that? You have a rabbit? What's that?
This is Mr. Pebbles, Your Honor. I have a magic show after.
Oh, right after this?
Right after this, yes.
This is the plaintiff, Matthew Cadabra. He's a magician, and he hired the defendant and her twin sister to be his assistants for a TV show he was set to do in Atlantic City, New Jersey. The defendant, however, quit on him right before he was about to do the show. He was professionally embarrassed, couldn't do his guillotine act, and the defendant left with his video camera and microphone system. He's now suing her for his stolen equipment and wants the $875 he's owed here and now. This is the defendant, Megan Carugo Castano, and her sister, Joey. Megan says the plaintiff wanted to use her truck to transport his guillotine, but the truck she borrowed from her friend was loaded with other stuff. The frantic magician started clearing out the truck, putting her friend's belongings on the street, and she knew right then and there this arrangement wasn't gonna work. She loaded her friend's stuff back onto the truck, quit, and knows nothing about any missing video equipment. She's accused of going poof and disappearing. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $415.38 for lost wages and transportation.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Okay, Matthew Cadabra, you are suing Megan Marugo Castano for $875 in equipment you say she stole. You are counterclaiming $415.38 in wages and tolls you say he owes you. Mr. Cadabra, you're a magician?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, did you change your name to that, or was that just some big coincidence and life calling?
I guess I'm not supposed to reveal my secrets, right?
Okay, oh, there you go. I can't imagine that you were actually born with that name, but anyway. All right, so tell me what happened here.
I contracted Joey and Megan to work for me.
Who's Joey? Are you Joey? Okay.
Joey and Megan to work for me on August 25th and 26th, 2014.
Had you ever worked with them before?
Yes, on and off for approximately 2 years.
And you're supposed to be twins?
Yes, we are twins.
You barely look alike. Can you stand up and stand next to her? All right, and you wanted twins for what part of your act? Do you have a rabbit in my courtroom? What is that? You have a rabbit? What's that?
This is Mr. Pebbles, Your Honor. I have a magic show after.
Oh, right after this?
Right after this, yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so you yeah, it's a little more. All right, so you contracted them to do what? What part of your act were the twins going to be?
About 4 years ago, I conceived the Guillotine Act, which requires a set of female twins. And back in 2011 is when I originally contacted them. We performed the Guillotine Act on a TV show previously in 2012. And in on the dates in question, the 25th and 26th, we were scheduled to perform the Guillotine Act on another TV show. Again,
okay, so I don't want you to reveal your secrets, but I take it that the public watching does not know there's two of them? Is that kind of the premise?
Yes.
Okay, all
yes,
right.
Your Honor, yeah.
I mean, we're not that stupid, you know? Like, we can't, it's still cool to watch. Don't think that you've given away the courthouse by admitting that. All right, so you hire them to do that. On August 25th, where did you go?
On the 25th, we were actually doing a water torture cell escape in which Joey and Megan partially assisted throughout the day. The 26th was the scheduled date for the Guillotine Act. At about 2 o'clock, an hour prior to the filming taking place, they defected and...
What happened?
The day started a little later than we originally anticipated. I said, I would like you to meet me at my grandmother's house at 2 o'clock in Egg Harbor City, New Jersey.
And the filming was taking place where?
In Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Okay.
It's approximately 10, 15 minutes away. So.
And it wasn't a show, it was a filming?
Yes, it was a filming.
I mean,
there was a large audience.
There was a large audience.
Yeah, it was Atlantic City Boardwalk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so at 2 o'clock, we met there approximately, maybe like 1:45, around 2 o'clock, and I had said on the phone, can you have your car cleaned out? We're going to load the guillotine into your car. I got there, their car wasn't cleaned out, they're just sitting in their car, and within 10 minutes of attempting to load the guillotine into their car, they were upset with the way they were being treated.
You're skipping the part about what, did you lose your temper or something because the car wasn't cleaned out and you were running late?
Well, I just said, hey, why isn't your car cleaned out? It should have been cleaned out. I didn't, it really wasn't that big of a...
Okay, so what did they take umbrage about?
Well, they thought, they were making a lot of accusations. I was misogynistic. I was really treated them poorly the day before. They were upset about that.
And then they said to you...
They said,
We quit.
we're not working with you. We're not working with you. Pay us for the day. Give us our transportation money. And I said, well, I'm not paying you for yesterday because the assignment was for 2 days, and it was $600 for the 2 days. That's what we discussed on the phone. And, they quit at the most critical time. I think they knew that.
How did the tempers not just calm down? Like, how did everybody not just zen out a moment? I mean, because obviously you've worked before together.
Yeah, we have, and they're really nice girls. Actually, I still like them, and they're nice girls. I feel bad to but
they don't like that you're calling them girls now, by the way. All right, but listen, okay. So you are here because, according to you, in their anger, they stole something from you. Tell me about that.
Correct. Yes. So I said, I'm not paying you, and then next thing I know, Joey, Megan's sister, is pounding on my grandmother's door. My 90-year-old grandmother, who's...
Why are you pounding on the grandmother's door?
Because we didn't have the cash to get back to New York. We didn't have any cash to pay for the tolls.
Oh. And he was telling you, I'm not going to pay you for yesterday
either.
either.
So I was telling we met his grandmother before, so she knew who we were, that we were employees of his. And I knocked on the door to tell her that her grandson was refusing to pay us for the work that we had done.
Okay, so in any event, you're saying I'm not going to pay you at all for anything if you walk. And then what happens?
Well, it wasn't quite that.
But you made clear you weren't going to pay him at all, that it was a 2-day gig and they weren't finishing the second day?
Yeah, for the 600.
Yeah, that was a mistake. That's not calming the situation down. All right, so go on.
No, yeah.
Right, so then at this point you have emptied out part of the van.
Yeah, we were
There's
in
a bunch of stuff out.
Yes,
All right, then what happens?
There was a lot of equipment on the lawn. I was trying to keep my eyes on this camera because I knew how expensive it was. I don't know if they knew
It's your camera and your what? Microphone system?
PA speaker system, yeah,
Right.
I use for all my shows, yeah.
Okay.
I'm attempting to keep an eye on my stuff. Joey's banging on the door. This is kind of like, a little twin magic they pulled on me.
Did you take his video camera and his microphone equipment?
He left out a key point that he took all the stuff that was in the truck and placed it in the street. I don't know what was in the car when I borrowed the car because I never agreed to move stuff for him. This was all... Him telling me to clean out the car was a last-minute thing.
Right, but didn't you know the guillotine was going in there?
No, I never knew that.
All right,
That
so
was not
what happened that made you quit?
Because he was stuffing something in the car that did not fit. I do not own the car. And as he's trying to close the door, something is hitting the glass. And my sister was worried that the glass was going to break on the trunk of the car. So we were just frantic because he was acting as if our stuff didn't matter.
I just don't get it. Why'd you quit, though? I mean, I would find that rude, too, but I would just assume he was really stressed.
I went to make a phone call, and when I came back, the stuff was on the street.
This
is not my belongings, and I feel like that is very disrespectful.
Okay. Had he been disrespectful the day before to you?
Yeah. Well, with
tell about the misogynistic stuff. He says you called him misogynistic.
Other people that we were working with, not typically me or my sister, but we felt was disrespectful to the person. He didn't want one of the female's boyfriends to be on a public boardwalk to watch his girlfriend.
But why? I'm not getting it. Why? You didn't think she'd act sassy with her boyfriend on the boardwalk?
Maybe the boyfriend would blow the trick by screaming, "I'm dating a twin." The testimony continues.
First of all, your only value in court is not the value you paid for it 4 years ago. It's a depreciated value. Try not to make faces while the judge is talking.
The plaintiff hired twin women to help him with his magic show. It involved a guillotine act. He got pissed off because he couldn't load his guillotine in their car. They quit, and he's ticked. Let's listen.
She's working for me. She's having conversations with her boyfriend while she's supposed to be focused on...
All right, so in any event, you get mad because he's putting the person who loaned you the car, all their property on the street.
Not on the sidewalk where his stuff is, not on the lawn, but all over the place in the street where cars can easily
So
run
you tell
something
him that's
over.
it, we're done with you.
I said I'm not working for you and I'm leaving.
Was he apologetic or was he nasty
No.
when you said I quit?
He was just like, oh, we are supposed to work for 2 days. That was the agreement. I didn't sign a contract to work for you for 2 days. I'm not desperate to sit here and let somebody disrespect me.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You are
So-
angry.
Yes,
and
I was.
if his property's there and he's telling you he's not paying you, you might take his camera because you're angry. I think what you're saying, tell me if I'm correct, is I have no idea if I took his camera and his microphone system because I took everything that was in the street and the sidewalk and
Yes.
it might have, but then earlier, I thought that was what your defense was. Look, I don't know. He was taking stuff out, I was putting stuff in, it all happened fast. But then a moment ago, you said, well, his stuff was nice and on the lawn or the side, and then my friend's stuff was all in the street. Well, then that means you do know what's what. At what point do you realize that the video camera and the microphone system are missing?
Basically, Megan says to Joey, get in the car, we're getting out of here very quickly. They drive back off to New York, screaming obscenities at the window. I look on the lawn, I notice immediately my camera's missing. At that point, I attempted to contact them on the phone. That went south very quickly.
What'd they say?
They didn't admit whether they had it or didn't. They did. But they kept saying, how much are you going to pay us? You know, forcing me to negotiate with like a hostage, my equipment as my hostage. And keep in mind, I had to film in 20 minutes.
So what happened when you had to film in 20 minutes?
Well, I had one of my girls still came to one of my young ladies that was working for me, very nice young lady. She showed up. She did a great job. We did a different version of it. It wasn't the complete act, but it was still a nice act. I think it was a nice appearance.
All right. Let me tell you one thing that concerns me in your answer to the complaint. My sister started arguing with the plaintiff, and while she was arguing with him, I put back whatever stuff he took out and put it in the truck. I don't know what belonged to him and what belonged to my friend. So it sounds like you're not denying that you might have taken it.
But I have 3 different text messages where I said he could come search the car.
Why didn't you just look inside the van and see if there was a microphone and a video
There was
camera?
I never picked up a microphone. That I could tell you definitely.
Pick up the video camera?
I picked up a case, whatever was there. I'm not, but to me, stealing is going to somebody's house and taking something that belongs in their house.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, that's taking something hostage because you have a situation where somebody's going to try to, you're supposed to go to the courts to get your disputes resolved. You're not supposed to take it into your own hands. So what do you have?
A camera case with the I'm assuming the camera is in there, but it's in the car that I do not have 24-hour access to.
Yeah,
If I
but
could have
except for
got
that that's a friend of yours, and you know you're coming
But she
not
lives
just to
upstate.
court.
She lives
you know
upstate.
Just a second. If you took the camera, which you've all but basically signed the confession at this point in front of me, before you hand the truck back to whoever it is who lives upstate or whatever, why wouldn't you take the camera out before you give it to your friend?
Because honestly, I'm not the first person he accused as a thief.
Except for that you just told me you have the camera.
I didn't intentionally steal it because I knew that it was Matt's.
But now you figured out it's his, right?
Well, yeah, it is his. But just
So
like
did you
I
bring
had
it
to
to-
find a way back to Brooklyn,
Megan,
New
did you
York,
bring it to
from
court
Atlantic.
today? Did you
because
bring it to court
I didn't have
today?
the car today. It's not my car.
Do you have a
First of all,
purse? You can calm
There's
down.
no camera in here. You want to search
but
it?
could, no, I'm positive.
I mean, there's no camera in there.
Do you have an off button? Press it. I'm positive there's no camera there. That's
Okay.
what I'm concerned about.
Okay.
You are telling me, yeah, I got the camera. Yeah, it's this camera. So really, there's just no reason for you not to bring the camera
But were
other
they
than
gonna
that my
drive me
brilliant
upstairs?
cross-examination has now unraveled your story, right? Because I'm just so good at what I do. How do you figure you wouldn't have to pay them anything for working one day?
It's an excellent point, Your Honor. And the answer to that is there's no business like show business. I mean, the most critical time was the TV show filming.
Right.
Was
Yeah,
in an hour, and that was what they were hired for. It's like if you went to see a play and you saw half the play and then it shuts down, do you get all your money back or do you get half your money back?
It's not like that at all. You're in the middle of a contractual agreement. They feel you're disrespecting them, and then you say, now I'm not going to pay you for work that you already did and earned, and I'm not sure that that's correct either. Although I just can't believe that no one among the 3 of you stopped and said, all right, if I've insulted you, I'm sorry. Let's take it down a notch.
No.
Or you tell him, listen, we're going to quit unless you take it down a few notches. Do you have proof of the value of the camera?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Hand it up to my bailiff, please.
Thank you.
Did you file a criminal complaint?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is going on with the criminal complaint?
In fact, I have the documents that they're
Yeah,
supposed.
let me see that.
There you go.
Can I see too?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
scheduled for.
Because I I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I
She
have to
didn't.
go somewhere
She didn't
else.
remember that. She didn't know about that
No,
one.
but
Well,
that's,
yeah,
I don't know
Got
why
you
you
good,
have this
Megan.
nasty tone. See, I can see why they quit. Okay, because
There you go.
Office of the Prosecutor, County of Atlantic. And why were
They
you
got
suing only?
service on
Why did you
this.
go
It was
to
the same
go
address.
criminal on only one of them, not both of them?
Well, Megan was the one that physically took the camera. My eyes
Did
were
you
on Joey the whole time.
How-
I didn't see her take. Well, you
Well,
already
come
basically.
on, honey. You've pretty much admitted it here. That's why, listen, we have a problem. Because if you're being charged criminally, you've pretty much admitted it right here. This is a problem for you. Where's the camera right now, honey?
Upstate New York.
I strongly suggest you get your hands on it right away. Do you understand me?
I
Because
understand.
I'm going to take a recess a moment. I want to see if these are legitimate.
All rise.
If you have any other paperwork from the criminal case, hand it over.
Yeah. The agreement
So,
on the phone
I don't
was
care what
$600
I heard
for
you
everything.
get out of my
It wasn't-
courtroom, take your bunny with you. Go, 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 go. Take the hair and go.
The back part of his truck hit the front part of my vehicle.
The police never came to see me at all.
Let's see the picture.
If I did do it,
What?
It
Wait a
was-
minute, if I did do it?
Next, People's Court.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if somebody is abusive to you in the middle of a contract, can you just say, screw it, I'm done, I walk away?
No, if it's a legally binding contract and you've signed, unless it's some sort of physical abuse.
It's not physical abuse, but it's bad enough.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think you possibly can, but it's up to the contract. It's on
Well, the contract doesn't say anything about abuse, right?
True. Okay, then I guess, yeah, no.
Oh, okay, well, you covered both bases there. That's good. Okay, going inside the courtroom.
I have a few questions for you that are concerning me, and then I have some questions for you too. But I think you're trying to protect your own interests, and I think you're trying to protect your own interests. I'm worried about you because I verified these, and in fact, there is a criminal case, a brew, okay? But you need to straighten this out. I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was in your shoes, but it's your decision what to do. I'm not counseling you in any way. You have said at alternate times throughout this trial, well, I have my eyes on the other one, so she's the one who took it. Is that it?
She was threatening to steal things. It was there. It was gone. Yes.
And when you called her, what did you say to her?
I said, do you have the camera? Do you have it? Do you have it? I had to film.
Do you have the camera? Do you have the camera? Do you have the camera?
Yeah.
Not once did you ask about microphone equipment, did you?
The microphone, I did not. She took the microphone.
Okay, so here's what I strongly suggest occur. I strongly suggest that you figure out a way to prove that you have returned the camera. So you're going to give Officer McIntosh an address. I don't care.
Yeah, I already purchased a new camera. I had to move forward. I can't. I have no use for an old camera. I have the receipt for the
Yeah,
new camera.
that's right. No one has any use for an old camera. That's why it's not worth $600, pal. First of all, your only value in court is not the value you paid for it 4 years ago. It's the depreciated value. Try not to make faces while the judge is talking. That's right. I mean, you gotta have a poker face as a magician, don't you? You can't hold still and you can't, like, keep a poker face?
I haven't lied about anything. I don't know why you're attacking me.
So it's the depreciated value of the item, and you just called it, I have no use for an old camera, I've already bought a new one. Well, bully for you, but she doesn't pay for your new one, okay? So I find that you've taken the camera, and I'm going to give you exactly a week to get it back to him.
Okay.
If you do not do that within a week, then what I am ordering is that you pay him the value of the camera, which I have to take into account. What does it cost to buy a camera like that today? It costs a lot less than it cost back then.
No, it doesn't.
So I'm going to find that the value of that camera in the open market would be $100. And if you do not return it to him,
God.
the value to you is a lot more because there's a criminal case here. Furthermore, I find that you cannot have people work for you for 7 hours and not pay them anything. That's not fair.
The agreement
So,
on the phone
I don't
was
care what
$600
I heard
for
you
everything.
get out of my
It wasn't-
courtroom, take your bunny with you. Go, 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 go. Take the hair and go. All right, I'm going to order him to pay the $300. When you say $89.88 owed for gas, what proof do you have of that?
Receipts for everything.
25 and 26 were the days you were working?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to order him to pay you $358.75 in payment for tolls and wages, none of which I am ordering him to pay until you return the camera. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Good luck, folks.
All right, so you heard the judgment from out here in the hallway, and what's going through your mind at this point here?
That's right. I'm out here in the hallway. I put them in a hotel. I pay for their food. I tell them how great they are. I put them on TV. Not a single iota of appreciation for an artist trying to provide other artists work. Instead, they steal my stuff, and they get an completely ridiculous ruling. It was completely wrong. It was ridiculous.
All right, Mr. Pebbles.
It was absolutely ridiculous.
Come on in here. Here you are after withering under the judge's blistering cross-examination. What's your feeling on the outcome here?
I feel good. I feel good about it. It's okay.
You pretty much said that you stole the camera or took it or whatever, however you want to say that, right?
It ended up in the car.
Yeah. So you're gonna get the camera back to the guy?
I'm gonna go upstate, get the camera, mail it off, and do what I have to do.
All right. And why don't you just finish the job and just
What job?
the two-day job? Just finish it up.
I'm not desperate for money. I'm not that desperate.
Harvey?
So here's the thing, Kurt. You cannot end a contract if somebody is just disrespectful, you know, or rude to you, for sure. But if it gets really extreme, sometimes the fact is judges will bend. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Veronica Pearson. She says she lived with the defendant for a period of time. They became very close, and that's why it's so hard for her to have to sue her here today. The woman's holding her belongings hostage. She needs her stuff back or the money to buy new things, and that's why she's bringing her here to court and suing her for the $3,500 she's owed. This is the defendant, Billy Ali.